Separations are separate printouts for each individual color to be printed. This job requires the three separations: yellow, blue, and black. Combined, they form the design for the finished product. The steps for setting up the separations are trapping, separating the colors, and printing out the separations. Equipment and materials are the computer system, graphics software, vellum film, printer, black marker or felt tip pen, and acrylic spray. Part of the designer's job is to think like a printer. Even as someone else exposes the screen and does the actual printing, there are some things that we can do to make that job easier. Notice how the yellow northwest fits in the blue tail. As long as the screens remain perfectly registered, the shirts will come out just fine. But it takes the printer extra time to achieve this level of precision, and the printing process can stretch and move the screen slightly. If this happens, the shift in the screens can put the images out of register, leaving an unwanted white shadow on the tail. To solve this problem, screen printers use a technique called trapping. Trapping puts a dark outline around areas in which one color is printed on top of another. This hides any white areas that result from a slight offset in the registration. It also makes the lighter colors stand out more. The easiest way to trap the yellow northwest text is to give it a black outline. Thicker lines trap more area, but may cover up too much of the design under them. Thin lines, on the other hand, require more precise registration and are less forgiving of any movement or stretching of the screen during the printing process. You may need to experiment with different line thicknesses. We'll also give a bolder outline to the bulldog text. If your computer program supports color separations, you're ready to print out the screens. The computer will automatically generate a screen for each color in the design. The design will be printed out on a vellum film. Vellum is a translucent material that lets light pass through when exposing the screens. If you don't have the software to make the separations, it's easy to break down the design into the individual colors. This is a good exercise to show how separations work. We'll start with black. Simply remove all of the parts of the design that are not black. Notice that we keep the label black at the top of the screen. This way, the person who prints out the t-shirt will know which color of ink to use. We'll save this version of the design as black and print it out on the vellum film. Next, do the same with the blue. Again, leave the blue label at the top of the screen so that the printer will know which color of ink to use. Remove the black outline, change the northwest text to white, and remove the bulldog. Then, turn all of the blue elements black save the drawing as blue, and print it out. Finally, repeat the process for the yellow portions of the design. Change the yellow to black for the output that you'll use to expose the screen. Save this version of the file as yellow and print it out on the vellum. Once you have saved and printed out the screens, check them for scratches or pinholes in the black areas. If you find any, fill them in with a black felt tip pen. A clear acrylic spray protects the print from scratches. The image should be solid and crisp. Dry it thoroughly so that it doesn't smudge. Each of the 3 prints gets taped to a separate screen with light-sensitive coating on it. It's important that the registration marks are lined up on the screen so that they print in the same place on the T-shirt. The screens are then exposed to an intense ultraviolet light. Where the image blocks the light from striking the screen, the coating washes out, leaving a mesh stencil for printing. The screen printer uses these screens with the appropriate color of ink to apply the design to the T-shirts. We'll start out with yellow, since it's the lightest color. Then print the blue. Then the black outlines. Now there's a T-shirt to wear with bulldog pride.